Hey, this is Sam from Tigit Motorbikes, Ho Chi Minh City. In today's video, I'm in search of the worst traffic I can find to show you how to navigate the chaos. In Vietnam, the bigger vehicle has the right of way. Four wheels trump two, so you've just got to give cars the right amount of space to park, to pull out, and to do these special kind of maneuvers. Crossing these massive intersections sometimes feels like you're going into battle, but you've just got to find your pack and stick with them. So right now we've got the oncoming traffic, but I've also got a bike to my left, my right, and in front, and it kind of gives me this circle of safety to shield me. But once I've cleared the intersection, I want to break away from the pack and split from the mess behind me. Again, at this red light, I want to weave through the traffic to get in front. I don't want to be squashed in between two cars behind me. Vietnam has these racing style traffic lights that count down to the green, but it means a lot of people will run the red light. The horn is both a means of communication and self-preservation. You can see here, if I did not beep, I would have been sandwiched between these two bikes. When there are no rules, you can make your own rules. This means a lot of judgment calls in Vietnamese traffic, and everything is a case-by-case basis. I can see now this car's turning left, so I'm going to use it as a shield from oncoming traffic. This is a classic example of how body language is the indicator. There you go, perfect shoulder check, he's turning left. This is not comfortable or fun to ride on a small scooter, so you can see how the roads can push people to the middle. People will carry everything and anything on bikes, and they're not always secured properly. On an unrelated note, the Chronic store has a great selection of full-faced helmets. Most people either love it or hate it, but it's quite interesting to drive through a market. It's essentially the speed of a parking lot. A lot of people pulling out. You can see all the bikes parked on the side of the road and up on the footpath. Okay, so this is super cute and good for you, but this couple is so infatuated with each other that the driver's not really keeping his eyes on the road. It's a good idea to move past distracted drivers. This lovely older lady is having a nice chat, and these two guys should be at the bar, but instead they're doing it on their commute home. Even in heavy traffic, nothing really stops. It just pushes out to the sides and then squeezes back in again. I'm going to let this pack of U-turners go, and then it's time to forge my own U-turn, but I don't have a pack to follow, so how am I going to get through? As said before, you don't mess with cars, so I'm not breaking that up. You can see just how close the proximity is between the tires. It can be overwhelming, but I think you make a lot of friends in traffic, and I'm about to make one now by squeezing my way through. This guy in the blue bike is going to give me a little bit of gap, and then he's going to claim it back again. One more U-turn, this time with 3 guardian angels. Just like a flowing river, they're going to be my rocks, and they're going to break the flow of water. So I can use that break to find my own path and fit in with traffic. I must admit I'm guilty of this after 8 years, but the unspoken rule is you just turn right without looking left. It's just like merging. He's also got a delivery box, which is going to impede his driving ability. And in my experience, delivery drivers are pretty distracted. If you can move past, do it. This woman was already turning by the time I saw her and she saw me. It's why you drive slowly. Perfect example of how things can go wrong really quickly. I'm looking to overtake this guy. I've got to cut to the wrong side of the road. Just as I do, this woman starts pushing a bicycle across. I got a little love tap from the lady behind me, but generally that's kind of the worst you're going to see in traffic. Again, you're looking to read body language. This guy's looking for a spot to drink coffee, and 3, 2, 1, he just stops right in front of me. I'm turning right. I think I've moved far enough over, but lo and behold, here she comes, squeezes her way through, and then goes straight from the right lane. As you saw earlier, getting rear-ended, even in slow traffic, is pretty possible. So I'm just moving out of the danger zone. Cars are generally slow and cautious. I could see this SUV kind of taking erratic turns. It's best to just get out of their way because he is not stopping for anyone. If you're worried about driving, try crossing the road or walking. There's not really a safe option. There is so much to see and take in. Sometimes people will drive looking for dinner, just like they're walking through a food court. The shaky hand wields more power than traffic lights and police officers. If you see this hand, that person is turning now. Here we've got some beautiful pedestrian choreography. Just be aware that sometimes there will be multiple people crossing in different directions. I've been in Vietnam a long time, and this was still some of the tightest traffic I've experienced. It's usually a 2-lane road, but it turns into 1 lane. I decided to delegate her to lead me through the pack. And it's so tight, you can actually see our exhausts are brushing against this poor lady's clothes. If you have a big personal bubble, it's probably not a great idea to ride in peak hour traffic. You get very up close and personal. But as you can see, the speeds are so slow, it's just like joining a queue, but on a motorbike. Okay, and that concludes 25 tips on how to survive Vietnamese traffic. I hope you learn a lot and you're ready to travel Vietnam.